Did you know the Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban was actually a real-life geek himself? But he wasn't just any geek. He used his geeky obsessions over the years to build a net worth of $5.7 billion as of mid-2025. Let's unravel how Mark Cuban's geeky obsessions paved the way to his billion-dollar empire today. In this video, we will investigate each thing he loved to geek out on, the actions he took based on those obsessions, and how wealth found him as a result of following his geeky curiosity. This isn't going to be just another net worth timeline video. Instead, we're diving deep to discover what geeky knowledge Mark Cuban acquired and how he turned that knowledge into billion-dollar outcomes. We're here to find the geek within Cuban. Stay till the very end. This video will teach you more about entrepreneurship than your typical MBA class. Let's dive in. At just 12 years old, Mark Cuban became obsessed with the art of selling.
Hi, my name is Mark. Do you use garbage bags? I've got a great deal for you, and every time you need garbage bags, all you ever have to do is call me, and I'll put them in the back of my wagon, and I'll bring them right down to your house. That was my first business, the world's first, probably only, garbage bag door-to-door subscription company.
While other kids played outside, he wanted to figure out how people make money by providing value. It wasn't about the product, it was about understanding the customer and making a deal. He launched a door-to-door garbage bag business. He bought bags in bulk for $3, then sold them for $6. That meant a $3 profit every time he knocked on a door. That early hustle earned him a couple $100s, enough to buy his favorite sneakers. But even more important, it laid the mental foundation for a lifetime of sales-driven entrepreneurship. When the PC boom hit in the early 1980s, Cuban became obsessed with software. Not just how it worked, but how people used it. He taught himself about different programs, staying up late to understand how software could solve real-world problems. He believed that if he understood both the product and the user, he could outsell anyone. He landed a sales job at a computer store and immediately proved he could close. He made a big deal happen without approval and got fired. But that moment gave him the drive to launch something of his own. That obsession and that firing directly led to the founding of Micro Solutions, his first tech company. The company rapidly grew to $30 million annual revenue. Now fully committed, Cuban geeked out on running a real tech business. He dove deep into software reselling, networking, and systems integration. It wasn't just about tech. It was about using geeky knowledge to solve customer problems at scale. He built micro solutions from scratch. He blended his love for tech with real client needs, offering both hardware advice and business transformation. His focus, being the bridge between geek speak and real-world use. By 1990, Micro Solutions was thriving, and CompuServe bought it for $6 million. It was his first exit, and proof that geek plus grit equals gold. Cuban was frustrated that he couldn't listen to his favorite basketball games online. That frustration turned into obsession, and he became deeply curious about streaming audio over the internet. Before Spotify, before Twitch, he saw the future. He co-founded AudioNet, a company dedicated to live streaming sports and audio. AudioNet eventually evolved into Broadcastcom, a full-fledged internet radio powerhouse. In 1999, Yahoo acquired Broadcastcom for $5.7 billion. This was one of the biggest internet deals of the decade, and it all started with a geek's frustration over missing a game. With his childhood dream, Cuban became obsessed with owning and improving an NBA team. But he didn't just buy the Dallas Mavericks to sit courtside. He geeked out on data, team dynamics, player psychology, and fan experience. In 2000, he bought the Dallas Mavericks for $285 million. He applied analytics, leadership culture, and fan-centric innovation to turn the team around. By 2025, the Mavericks were worth over $3.5 billion. His obsession turned not only into a brand, but a business empire in sports entertainment. Cuban was annoyed by the poor quality of cable TV broadcasts. He became obsessed with the idea of delivering high-definition content before anyone else cared about resolution. His mindset, if you're watching it, it should be crystal clear. He launched HDNet, one of the first networks dedicated to high-def programming. Then he co-founded 929 Entertainment, investing in indie films and next-gen broadcast innovation. These ventures together grew to a valuation of over $800 million. Another geeky frustration turned into a massive media portfolio. Mark Cuban became obsessed with identifying and backing great founders. Not just investing for return, but mentoring, challenging, and supporting innovation. He joined Shark Tank in 2011. Over the next decade, he invested in 85-plus startups, becoming the most active and admired shark. Cuban's personal returns from Shark Tank deals exceeded $285 million. But the real value? His role as the go-to geek for smart founders. Cuban's latest obsession is deeply human, making essential medications affordable. He's disgusted by the idea of people going bankrupt just to survive. So he dove deep into how the drug system works and how to disrupt it. He launched the Mark Cuban Cost Plus drug company. It removes middlemen and brings radical transparency to pricing, so people can afford life-saving meds. The company now generates $23+ million annually and counting. But more importantly, it's saving lives. Proof that impact can be profitable too. Let's recap how Cuban's obsessions turned into real results. Mark Cuban didn't get rich chasing hype. He got rich chasing his obsessions. Every geeky idea, every frustration, every curiosity became an action. And those actions built a $5.7 billion empire. So ask yourself, what's your geek obsession? And what's stopping you from turning it into your own billion-dollar story?